the question is not, look, he did something dishonorable. He had 2 years left on his service contract. He retired, and the timing is really inconvenient. He retired less than 4 months before the unit that you were a part of, a unit with more than 500 people, was deployed into a war zone. It's not against the law to do that. He can retire, and that's not what my questions are about. You look at John Kerry. This brought John Kerry down in 2004, the Swiftboat Veterans for Truth. Ultimately, that helped to end his campaign in 2004. He lost to George W. Bush. John Kerry went into a war zone. It was what he did when he came back that got people so upset. And it seems like it's the same thing with Tim Walz. Not only did he lie about his rank, but he lied about doing what you did, sir. You went to a war zone. He never did. And to me, that makes him a liar.
Yeah, that's, I'd have to agree with you on that. Walz and I actually got something in common. We both basically upped. I was out for a long time. I got back in after 9/11. He re-upped after 9/11. So there's a little bit of, what do you want me to do for the country? You accept that? And I didn't know where I was going. I just said, yes, I'm here. And he did too. And they said, you're going to a war zone. I accepted that. I got family, grandkids. I missed the wedding. A lot of people have the same story. He decided as soon as they got the alert, when he got notified, Command Sergeant Barron said as soon as the alert go, he was gone. So I have a hard time with that because I did the right thing.
Well, I do too. I think it's despicable and disrespectful to anyone who's worn the uniform. And to your point, the family members of those people that have worn the uniform, they bear just as much stress and anxiety as people that wear the uniform. I also think it speaks to his character, Tom. When was the last time you spoke to Governor Tim Walz?
I've never spoke personally to him. I've seen him. I was a low enough rank person when I got in. I didn't really know the chain of command. I just got in late. I was out for 10 years, got back in. So I'm not familiar with that. I've just heard him spoke. That's all. I've never, not personally.
Do you mind if I ask you, did your unit lose anyone in Iraq?
Yeah, we lost 3 people. Some of that's coming out on the news. They got stories about the people. And if you ever went to a military funeral, that rips you out when you see the people that pass away. And then you do that. It's amazing.
Well, Tom, I typically say this at the end of the interview, but I can't thank you enough for your service. Let me just ask you, and I know this is 20 years ago, but he was in charge. He was in command of this unit. He was one of the top guys. He abandoned the unit, then you're sent into a war zone. Did that throw the unit into disarray?
I think me and other people, the lower ranked people, that they didn't understand that right away. And after we got back, when the facts came out of what he did and the documents by Command Sergeant Major Barron's is a black and white guy. What's right's right, what's wrong's wrong. He's not somebody who really likes attention, but he's got enough honor that he knew this was disrespectful. So he put he got all the documentation of everything he did. He pursued this when the governor race in 22, but he got no help from the media. As you know, Minnesota's quite liberal, and nobody would publish it. It was documented. It was true. Yeah. They said we can't publish it.
Tom, you've got the national stage now. People are paying attention. Do you think he gets away with it again? Because if Kamala gets elected on November the 5th, Tim Walz will have gotten away with this lie again. He did it first when he ran for Congress. Then he ran for governor for the first time in 2018. The papers in Minneapolis wouldn't even print the story. To your point, they fact-checked it, and it was totally accurate. But they wouldn't print the story because they didn't want it to impact the election. Of course, that's a blue state, and he's a Democrat, so they didn't want to hurt the Democrat. At least that's the appearance that this all gives off. Do you think he'll get away with it again? Do you think people are going to pay attention now, finally, to your story and that of your commander?
Well, that depends on the American people. If they hear the story, a lot of people say, I can't, they won't choose policy over character. And this country needs to wake up. This is wrong. We got too many people in politics right now lying, deceiving. We need to clean this up. And when you're in the military, you have a special duty to the people. You just can't do this. I don't know what to say about that.
And just to summarize, you think that Tim Walz, Kamala Harris's running mate, abandoned not only you but your unit 20 years ago?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not a doubt.
Tom, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you again for your service. Enjoy your weekend with your family. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.